Coming at you from a bulletproof bunker just outside Celestia's castle, it's Equestria Redacted, and I am your host, Ephrom Josine. I would like to start by saying sorry I couldn't get an episode out last week. You know, stuff happens. But anyway, as for my thoughts on last week's episode, link below to a DeviantArt review of it I did. But let's talk about this week's episode, The End and Friend, the second episode I was unable to finish. If you don't remember, I could not finish, which one? Marks for Effort, because the plot was awful. I made it farther in this one than I did Marks for Effort. But as of what happens, essentially, Rainbow Dash and Rarity spend the first half of the episode arguing. If it sounds like non-compete clause, my previous second worst episode, it is. So Starlight asks them to read each other's books. They don't. Then we have a little bit of Strangers and fan fiction thrown in there. They're just ripping off all the classics at this point. I mean, we have non-compete clause and Stranger Than fan fiction. But then an amulet, a magical artifact, goes missing, and Rarity and Rainbow Dash have to find out who did it. Take a wild guess what happened. Now, seriously, I complained in the Friendship University review that was predictable. This is even worse. At least with Friendship University, the how was kind of a mystery. Here, it isn't. There isn't even really a how to be mysterious. This is one of the worst episodes of the season. I'm sorry. It just is. Not helped by the fact that Rarity is just really annoying. A better writer would have made it so both Rainbow Dash and Rarity were annoying, but let me think. Rarity doesn't play buckball with Rainbow Dash. Then Rarity goes shopping and makes Rainbow Dash talk about things she doesn't know about. She literally said in an earlier episode, the most she can do with clothes is point to something and tell you whether or not it's clothes. And you're expecting her to know all about fashion, darling. And then, to be fair, Rainbow Dash doesn't read Rarity's book, but before that, what else? Oh yeah, they were treasure hunting or looking for gems. And Rarity refused to help Rainbow Dash pull a lever because she thought it'd lead to a secret cave, which it probably wouldn't for the record, but still, you kind of go there for a reason. You have to entertain some of your friends' delusions. And the most Rainbow Dash is guilty of is mouthing off a little too much. This seems kind of like a one-sided conflict. But the show is friendship is magic and not cutting out people from your life who you really don't like is magic. So, of course they get back together. My God, I'm very angry. Anyway, this episode is called A Heart to Heart, which I know you really shouldn't do on YouTube, but I figured I might as well. Just to inform my audience. However, let's start with some lighter stuff. Okay, so recently, Lizzie posted a message she got regarding Lily on DeviantArt. I'm going to read it. This was from Gary the Griffin. You know that Jerry is a child molester, right? For the record, that is liable to claim that when you don't have any proof. Did you ever ask what happened with his siblings? Yes, I did try and make that sound as annoying as possible for the record, because it legitimately came off as really annoying. But I want to point this out for the record. I thought it was that Lily beat up her siblings. And then Tara molested her siblings, even though Tara isn't real. These theories are really confusing and stupid. I've wondered, do you know and simply don't care, or do you live in denial? That was very loaded of you. Just wondering. I have links if you want. Why not just give her them then? Though I suspect you'll just tell me to fuck off while standing by a pedophile. Um, who wants to bet he's a Dr. Wolfman? And then Lizzie basically said, go away. And here's what some people at the E4B had to say. Anime Wolf Gamer, it's really is starting to feel that Lizzie might know about the crap that Lily Orchard, thank you for proving you know her last name, have been doing, but doesn't want to admit. And due to the fact that it might lead to some sort of disaster. I don't know how the woman thinks, but she needs to know people are legit scared of what Orchard will do to her. He capitalized W in we, by the way, already know how Thought Bubble and Blake had to suffer all the shit she has caused. So of course people are gonna try to warn her about the dangers ahead. Lizzie, you need to stop being in that bubble now. These people don't want you to suffer a fate that you can't escape. You just essentially just screamed wake up sheeple at her for not accepting that very rational system. Well, on the topic, by the way, E4B finally talked about Sky Pegasus reading. You may remember that name. Don't worry, we'll get to that in a minute. Here is some of what Anime Wolf Gamer had to say. Okay, so this guy might now be a pedophile in a legal sense, but by definition, he totally is. I still don't know what that's supposed to mean. Now, Sky the Pegasus is a Klopfic reader, and I know people might know him because Orchard covered on a video which everyone who can see through her bullshit that she is just using it to cover her own ass, but I digress. So wait. When Lily covers this guy, it's because she's just trying to hide the fact she's a pedophile. But when you cover it, you're holy and virtuous. Anyway, for those who don't want to watch her video, here is a post on him, and let me say that if you're into Klopfics, I don't care if you're into those things. You just said the same thing twice. But what I do care is when this person is reading Falcon on YouTube. Lily figured this out months ago, and you insulted her for that, but okay. Yes, this person has read a lot of Falcon to the viewing public, and here are just a couple of examples. In case you're wondering, the examples he gives are from 10 months and over a year ago. Yes, underage characters having sex. Where was your outrage when Orchard was calling this out? Now I bring him up because he released a video about a month ago responding to the backlash he has gotten. Yeah, the title speaks for itself. The main point he is trying to say is that all of it is just, it's all fantasy, and they're not real. Okay, I need to say this now. Why the fuck is every single pedophile using this excuse? Because you morons were too busy complaining that Lily Orchard still exists to effectively debunk it. People on my side have been debunking it the entire time. Also, before anyone jumps on me, yes, I get it. This isn't really legal because it's all on fiction stuff and not real depictions. Actually, that still is illegal. But it does influence this behavior in some way, shape, or form. Not to mention this guy is pulling the same excuse that Digibro has been saying for a while now, or hell, even Orchard, when he was open to saying he wrote shit like this for these people to read. You know, where pedophilia was treated as a bad thing. Plus, these readings break YouTube guidelines, which already shows how YouTube is fucked up to begin with. What? So YouTube is screwed up because they don't allow these people on there. Also, it's really damn bad when these videos got positive reception. Look at this! These videos get a lot of good reception and no negative comments as far as I'm aware. This just makes me feel sad. Anime Wolf Gamer has feelings too. You know, the fandom really don't need any more damage after all the pedo exposing. It's starting to become harder when people like this keeps saying it's okay to express the need to be in bed with these underage characters. Just because this is okay under the law, it still isn't. It doesn't mean it is right to be. It's right to begin with. I am Anime Wolf Gamer, and I am a virtuous individual. Not to mention that people like this seem to never understand that many are concerned to why they would be into this, and they just throw excuses quickly in hopping. It would avoid backlash. Gee, that sounds like every fucking person we at the E4B covered throughout the many years in this blog. Sky the Pegasus, just own up to your fucking mistakes. Anyway, here's something that involves both Sega Sister and Brittany. It starts with this guy named Brownswick saying, in that kid Douglas's recent video on Lily Pete, he showed a clip Lily had showing Josh OC stabbing himself and her admission to beating up her sister. Apparently, Leo Convoy thinks violence against OCs isn't a big deal and that violence against siblings and bullies is normal. Well, violence against siblings and violence against bullies are two very different things. And I'd like more context here, please. If somebody is literally stabbing you, for instance, I do not have an issue with punching them. Now, I know some people who consider themselves pacifists may have an issue with that, and I choose to ignore them. All while calling Douglas weak and cowardly for being afraid of violence. Does he not realize Lily was wishing death on Josh with that clip? No, she wasn't. And not everyone wants to use violence towards people, especially bullies. Why especially bullies? Like, look. I guess I'd be fine with beating up my significant other, but don't you dare touch a bully. What's wrong with you? No, seriously, what is wrong with you at that point? So, or is this individual a bully and just doesn't want to get beaten up? Sorry, just those little Freudian slips. Sega Sister. Apparently not. Also, I've said this multiple times before. Just because something is normal, violence against siblings in this case, it actually isn't normal. The person in question directly said so. Does it make it right? And Brittany says, yeah, okay, violence against your siblings to the point where they literally run away from home is not normal. Yeah, my brother and bickered. Who's bickered and fought some growing up. But we didn't haul off and beat each other. What? And for that matter, no, that isn't normal. Has that happened? And if so, please inform me. Also, Leo's an asswipe. Yes, I'm aware he's likely going to see this and jump on here armed with 7th grade insults against me. Hello, I'm Brittany, and I have no self-awareness. And possibly my mother. Why? But those aren't the only notes that post has, for the record. Here are a few more. Wait, correction. Most of them are just people liking these posts, but remember, they're fighting the establishment. I'm very angry at the moment. I made this hat into a paper airplane. Fly. It didn't fly. Wait, no, it wouldn't be a paper airplane. It'd be a hat airplane. But anyway, let's talk about the thing. I have honestly been having some burnout when it comes to making these videos. I've been having much more trouble following the people in question, and it's just become much more boring to do. That is not helped by the fact that I have a very big project for the series that could dictate the end, but don't worry, that's not coming out for another year. So I'm going to let you guys figure out what I'm going to do. Should I just go back to doing the brony stuff whenever I feel like that? Because with Ephrom Josine show, that means it's probably going to be like once a month. Do you want me to, I don't know, do this bi-weekly instead of weekly? If so, I'd have to review 2 episodes every time. Except for off-season. I don't know. I want to know what you guys want me to do. And this is somewhat of a heart-to-heart, if you will, so I called the episode that because that's the most important thing. Will you guys be fine with this sort of mediocre episodes for a while until I get my groove back? I don't know. It's up to you guys, essentially. Tell me what you want, and I'll try and do it. I am Ephrom, and good night.